Hey guys, it's Gawain, and today we are going to be taking a look at the most adorable and my favourite Apex legend, Wattson. Wattson is a defensive legend that specialises in flank watch, area denial, and projectile denial. Wattson is a shockingly underrated operator that has a lot of unique abilities and interactions with other legends' abilities. Let's learn how to utilise these to our advantage. Wattson is equipped with her tactical ability, Fence Pole lol, of which she gets 4 charges before having to wait for a 15-second recharge period per fence pole. When placed down, a fence pole won't do anything unless connected to another one that you're either going to place or you have already placed down. After you have connected these 2 poles together, there will be a short animation of the poles rising out of the base and then creating an electrical fence. If an enemy crosses this fence, then a number of things will happen. They will take 20 damage per second, they will be slowed for 3 seconds, the edges of their screen will be blurred for 3 seconds, and you will be alerted that the enemy has crossed the fence via a voice line from Wattson herself and an icon on screen. However, you and your team will not take any damage or be stunned when crossing your fences, as they deactivate for you and pop back up again after you have crossed. It's worth mentioning that you are not immune to other Wattson fences, but you can connect your fence poles to the enemy's fence poles. In total, you get 12 fence nodes that can be placed on the map at one time, and you can keep track of how many you have by pressing the tactical button and looking at this bit of UI here. Each blue rhombus is a fence you have already placed. You do have the ability to pick up these fences, but you can also keep placing the fence poles and the first one you have placed will just disappear. To finish information dumping, you can only connect one fence pole to 2 others, so bear that in mind. Now that we've learned what a fence pole does, you're probably wondering how to use them in game. I personally use these to block doorways or flanks where enemies can enter the same building as me or sneak up on me. It ain't officially called perimeter security for nothing. Whilst you do get alerted to enemies destroying your fences too, try your best to put the actual electrical conductor poles where the enemies cannot shoot either of them, making them take damage they'd rather avoid. This makes it so you can get a free kill on someone that's stunned, or just waste time and meds for the enemy. Furthermore, if your team is being aggressive, then you can block off exits to buildings by placing fences outside so the enemy can't get out, trapping them and making them easier to pin down and kill. Finally, if you have a few fences spare and need to block a doorway, consider creating a triangle with your fences on a doorway to waste even more time or potentially do more damage and stun the enemy for longer, because it resets the timer every time you hit a fence. For Wattson's passive, she gets 2. The first one is basically her just getting special treatment because she helped design the ring, this being the fact that ultimate accelerants fully charge her ultimate no matter what percentage she is already on, alongside being able to stack up to 2 ult accels per inventory slot. Her secondary passive is that she has 2 AA batteries strapped to her Evo shield at all times, charging it when not in combat at a record-breaking speed of 1 shield health per 2 seconds. Her passives are pretty decent in my opinion. Whilst the passive shield regen is really minuscule, it's nice to have when you need to heal just a sliver of health, and the fact that she can fully recharge her ultimate immediately after using one is stupidly strong. Speaking of which, carry 2 ultimate accelerants on you at all times, minimum. This being if you find them of course, and make sure to pop them right after using an ultimate if it is safe to do so. This way you have one again for when you need it immediately. I say when you need it because you can only place one ultimate at a time, otherwise the previous one will get destroyed. Her passives truly are a spark of genius. Get it? Because that's the official name of them. No? I'll forget it. Wattson's ultimate is by far the best part of her kit. She is equipped with her Electrical Bruiser Grenade Remover pylon, which does a fair bit for Wattson and her team. First off, the most useful thing about this ability is the fact that it deletes ordnance within about a 12-meter radius of the pylon. Just a word of warning, it can delete your team's ordnance if it is going to land within the 12-meter radius. Everything it can delete is on the screen right now. Feel free to pause the video and take a look. Furthermore, this hidden Tesla type beat ability can regenerate up to 250 shield health total of anyone in the radius. Yeah, that includes enemies. You can ping the pylon to see the percentage of shield health left, or you can look at this blue circle on the floor. After this shield health runs out, the pylon can still destroy everything that I previously listed. Finally, when in the 12-meter radius, Wattson's tactical ability cooldown gets reduced significantly, so feel free to spam fences here, there, and everywhere to try and protect you, your team, and your interception pylon as much as possible. I like to create a small perimeter with 4 fences after placing down my ultimate if we are in the open, and then interconnecting those fences to create a visual mess, making it harder for enemies to see you and making it more threatening for enemies to jump into you. Try to place your portable electrical safety hazard behind cover so enemies cannot shoot it and you get the most out of its grenade denial and its other perks that come with it. Smart ultimate placement with Wattson is vital because this is the ability that can have the most impact on your game. You can set up your ultimate in a building in the late game to help you anchor down and fence off entrances, knowing you're safe from ordnance, or you can be reactionary with it, protecting yourself from Gibraltar or Bangalore ultimates before they hit the ground. Apex's resident French electrical engineer is in the defensive class for a reason, because her kit revolves around setting up and anchoring down in a building or a corner of an area. I try my best to play conservative with Wattson as she has no repositioning abilities, so take high ground, play around cover and stick with your team. If your teammates go aggressive, push up with them. Don't lead the charge if you can help it, as a mobility character is better suited for that. Try your best to watch the team's flanks with your fences and watch for potential ultimates you can eat with your own ultimate. Due to her being defensive and her tactical being attributed to that, Wattson can be quite good in close quarters. Wattson is also a good candidate to get the gold backpack for that extra health on teammates you revive because of her naturally conservative playstyle. Wattson's personality is very cute, bubbly, and wholesome. She is a character that makes a lot of puns to do with her kit, and is very pleasant to be around because she is never aggressive or hostile in tone of voice. Her personality is very much one of the reasons I play and main Wattson, and I don't think anyone is or will be put off by this wholesome personality either. As aforementioned, Wattson can be quite good in close range, but she also has a conservative playstyle. For this reason, I believe she can excel in long range combat too. Honestly, you can go with whatever loadout you want on this character to do well with her, so if you like snipers, go with that. If you like shotguns, go with them. Just have fun with it. I personally love the Prowler SMG, so I take that when possible for my close range option, and then either a shotgun to double up on the close range build, or take a slightly longer range option with the triple take. The triple take provides a long range that the Prowler otherwise lacks, as well as acting as a shotgun close range and hipfire, making it one of my favourite loadouts in the entire game. Wattson has one hard counter, Crypto, and the obvious character that counters everybody, Revenant. Crypto's EMP will literally destroy every one of your fence nodes and your ultimate if they are within the radius of the EMP blast. They will all get destroyed and you have to rebuild, so make sure you have an ultimate accelerant on you at all times, or make sure you have your ultimate at all times. This way you can rebuild almost immediately, nullifying the EMP's effects. Or you could just shoot the drone before detonation, but a good crypto won't let you do this. Revenant can shut off all of your abilities, making it so that you can't use them. However, your electrical pylon can destroy his silencing orbs, so try your best to play around your ultimate when playing against a Revenant. Other than that, just don't get hit, forehead. Finally, there is one obvious one. Bullets. Your fences and pylons can be shot and destroyed, so be smart with your placements. Place your fences in the corners of rooms when blocking doorways to make it harder for enemies to destroy them when entering a building. Use an ultimate accelerant immediately after placing your interception pylon so you have one if your current one gets destroyed and you need to protect yourself from ordnance. If an enemy Gibraltar or Bangalore uses their ultimates on you, place yours down to delete the projectiles falling from the sky. When running from an enemy, place one fence node in front of a door before you enter a building. Close the door and sit up against it whilst you heal. If the enemy starts to kick the door or is just stood on the other side also healing, then place another fence node on your side of the door to connect to the outside one. Then the fence will complete and destroy the door, hopefully stunning the enemy as well, giving you chance to kill them. Learn to utilise Wattson's great hitbox and animation set because she has the best in the game as of time of writing, and you can really dodge some bullets with it. Overall, I think Wattson is a middle-of-the-road legend in terms of difficulty because her abilities can be quite clunky to use at first, but once you get flowing, then they get easy to use. Furthermore, learning to place your abilities in good locations where they can't get shot can be difficult at first too. Learn to place your abilities in safe places to get the most out of them, then learn to get fluid with Wattson's fence placements, and finally, learn how to adapt your playstyle dependent on your team and situation, and you are sure to become a pretty decent Wattson player. Thank you all for watching, I really appreciate it. All of the clips you saw in this video were taken from my Twitch stream. The link is on screen and in the description. Since you've watched this far into the video, you might want to subscribe as it's completely free and I'll be making more content like this in the future. Bloodhound is next for the Apex series. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. Let's go!